ain't talking to us. This thing is easy like a layup. Meeting at the top, man, ain't no people in the way up. Me and my squad, this is visual art. I just pen a few bars, leave a framer for Amadeus.
Yeah, lay, this is easy like a layup. Been overtime with the grind, yeah, I got my weight up. Busting through these lines like T-Sub, time to pay up. Raven flow sky high, yeah, I'm talking way
Hold up, say what? Say what? What's wrong with all these haters? They lying. And I'm saying, I'm trying to put my partners on, we always gonna be first. A team of all-stars like it's diamonds on my t-shirt.
Look at all these haters' faces, boy, all day.
Hello and welcome back to Second Take. I'm your co-host Lucas Silverman.
I'm your co-host Julian Smith.
And today we have our first guest of our podcast, and that is Mr. Bernard OJ. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
I'm doing pretty good. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about our NBA Finals predictions. And since Bernard's our guest, we're going to have him go first.
All right. So for me, the Eastern Conference is easy. I'm going to have to say the Heat, only because LeBron James is dominant as usual. And Dwayne Wade's putting up some numbers, so is Chris Bosh. They just look pretty solid. For the West, it gets a little more difficult. I don't think any of these teams have a good chance to beat the Heat, but if I have to go on a limb, I'd have to say the San Antonio Spurs, only because they're very consistent, they're experienced. Tim Duncan and Tony Parker can lead them, so to go.
So, you're predicting a Heat three-peat as of right now?
I am. The Heat are going to get
Easily?
the third ring.
Easily?
I want to say easily. They're going to be challenged in the finals, but none of these teams.
Do you
look
think
like they're gonna
any
have
other matchup in the East will give the Heat a hard time, as of right now?
The Heat are going to take
The
care
Pacers,
of the
if
Pacers.
if the Pacers win the next series, do you think it'll be a good matchup? Because
I don't think.
the teams they had good fights in the regular season.
Right. But the Pacers have been sloppy in the first round. We saw there.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody thought they were going to be able to pull it off, but they actually did. The Wizards aren't giving them too much trouble, but the Heat can take care of either the Pacers or the Wizards. They're on road to their third championship, and I see it happening easily. How about you, Lucas? What do you think on this?
Well, yeah, I agree with you about the Miami Heat. LeBron
I think
James,
we all agree.
LeBron
Miami
James
Heat
is an animal.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade's finally healthy. The supporting cast is showing up. Except the one concern I do have is I kind of feel like this Heat team is a lot like Cleveland when LeBron was on Cleveland. LeBron had to score 49 points 2 nights ago. The Nets' highest scorer was 15 points, and they almost still lost. The Brooklyn Nets were terrible down the stretch of that game, and even with LeBron James, and in the past couple of seasons when LeBron James had a 50-point game or 40, 30-point game, they won that game handedly. But this time around, they barely won because I feel like LeBron has to do way more on his shoulders, and I think that I'm a little bit scared if they make it to the finals and they play a really good team like the Spurs or the Oklahoma City or the Clippers, it'll be a lot tougher for them to three-peat. But I still have the Heat getting to the finals just based on the fact that the Wizards are sort of a young team. I don't have them out of it against the Pacers. The Pacers are. I really don't know what to. They're so inconsistent. I don't know which team's going to show up. It could be the Roy Hibbert team when he scores over 20 points and has a double-double, or when Roy Hibbert scores only 4 points. So it's really up in the air. But that's why I have the Heat making it to the finals based on the fact that the Pacers are so inconsistent and the Wizards are a really young team. Going against the Heat would be really difficult.
So you're saying that the only way the Pacers can advance is if Roy Hibbert shows up?
Yes, that's the only reason.
What about Paul George?
Paul George is going to get his. Paul George is at the point where I know he will be consistent and he will drop at least 25 points a game.
Do you think that Paul George's play can make up for a lack of Roy Hibbert?
No, it will not.
It will not.
Because he needs to have a presence. If he's not in the key, blocking shots and giving extra possessions and getting offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, getting that double-double that we all know he can do, I don't see it happening.
Roy Hibbert has been playing very well as of recent.
Last game he had 4 points.
Yeah, just like I predicted in one of our videos, he's shown up and he's
inconsistent.
It's
inconsistent.
It is.
So I have the Heat on the East side making to the finals. On the West, I have Oklahoma City, based on the fact that Kevin Durant and Westbrook are doing their thing. They're averaging their 30 points a game. Reggie Jackson's stepping up. Thabo Sefolosha is a great defender. Serge Ibaka can guard the paint and can get a lot of blocks and a lot of offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. I think they're gonna win this. I had the Clippers originally winning the series, but after seeing what's happened, I'm going to take it back and say that the Thunder are actually going to win in 7. I have the Clippers winning, but then Game 6, but then the Thunder winning.
Gotta stay with your pick.
I had to go against it because I see the Thunder. Also, the Thunder have killed the Spurs this year, and I have the Spurs obviously making to the Western Conference Finals, being Portland. But I just think that Oklahoma City is ready this time around. They are ready to beat the Spurs. They're going to beat the Spurs, and then it's going to be a Heat Thunder finals, and that's in my opinion, that's what basketball wants. They want LeBron versus KD.
Right.
They want that, and I think that would be great for the NBA to see that round 2 happen, and maybe I don't know about that, but I don't know about this, but KD dethroning LeBron of his 3-peat and taking that next step, being it's KD's NBA now, not LeBron. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But that's what the NBA wants to see.
MVP and championship in the same.
That's what they want to see happen. They want a Heat Thunder finals, and
That's
what the world wants, and I'm going to give it to them.
The Clippers barely won Game 5. They were down, and they had to come back and rally to win Game 5.
Exactly. They shouldn't have won that game.
They would have
The
lost.
refs gave them that game.
There was a lot of things that happened. First of all, they shouldn't have turned the ball over.
Right, no, they made their own mistakes.
And then Chris Paul shouldn't have fouled him on the 3-pointer that Russell Westbrook took. I just think that the Thunder are.
But nonetheless, even they could have.
If the Thunder win this series, I have to give them a really good chance of beating the Spurs too in the Western Conference Finals and making it into.
Despite all those mistakes that the Clippers made at the end of Game 5, they still sort of won that game. The refs, there would not have been anything happening with that if Chris Paul didn't turn the ball over. That's not a conversation if Chris Paul didn't turn the ball over.
Right.
It was that
time. That mistake.
That time, but
that's what you're saying though.
But they still should have gotten the ball on that play though, because it was off of Reggie Jackson. It was off of Reggie Jackson.
But
they didn't call a foul.
Yeah, they should have been a foul.
But they didn't call a foul.
That situation would never have happened if there wasn't a turnover.
Exactly. They were making up for it, and they were not supposed to do that.
Nonetheless, they're only up 3-2, and the Clippers did win Game 1 on the road. Game 7, if they do force that,
it's up in the air. I agree. It's going to go Game 7. I think it's going to go Game 7. But I think with the home court advantage and with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook getting their points, and they just need one other player to step up. Maybe it's Serge. Maybe it's Reggie Jackson. Maybe it's Steven Adams. Who knows what'll happen? But I just predict it's going to be a Heat Thunder finals. What about you, Julian?
Well, I still have the Clippers winning this series against Oklahoma City. I have them winning the next 2 games. I think they can pull it off. I liked Doc Rivers' attitude at his post game. We got 2 more games to play. I think they will win both of those games. I think they will be upset letting the last one go, and I think they will definitely show up aggressive and ready to play these next 2 games. After that, though, I am still rolling with the Clippers. San Antonio, LA, that would be a very interesting matchup. And I feel, after watching the Spurs-Memphis series, I feel like if Memphis almost did it. If Memphis could almost do it, then I have no doubt that the LA Clippers can do it.
But have you seen them recently against this Portland Trailblazers team?
Yes.
They won the first 3 games in blowouts going away.
But that doesn't mean that the same thing will carry over to this next series. LA is a totally different matchup than the Portland Trailblazers. And I can see LA winning this in 6 or 7 games and making it to the finals against the Heat, of course. In the Heat.
Do you have any concerns of Portland, or Indiana or Washington making it a series?
No, not at all. I mean, it'll be interesting. I'm predicting, Pacers will win this next game against Washington, and then it'll be Pacers in Miami. But I feel like Miami will handle the Pacers fairly easily.
All right. For the Western Conference, though, if the Clippers do get past the Thunder, I don't see how you can say that they're going to get past San Antonio.
It'll be a stretch. I'm not 100% confident. Like, I could be wrong. I'm not 100% confident, but I feel like they might be able to do it. It'd be a stretch though.
Right.
It would definitely go to 7 games.
I think the Spurs are hungry. They're knowing that.
I agree with that. They remember Game 6 in the finals.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They've been thinking about that ever since the game happened, and it's going to be tough. But I just think Oklahoma City also is just also hungry. They want to be there too. They know they should be there.
Yeah.